Listen up, Agent. The following briefing is brought to you by From the Helicarrier, your #1 news source for Marvel's Avengers Alliance, and the Marvel Avengers Alliance Wikipedia. Welcome back, Agent. As we continue onward into the weapon breakdowns, it's here where we really start seeing some universally useful equipment that you'll want to make sure you've got in your inventory for use. This is where the items you'll find will really start taking on interesting qualities and will allow you to build different strategies among them. Heading into Splintering Cells, the first villain you'll have to deal with is Taskmaster, who's up to no good in London. Taking him down will give you a shot at the restored Mark 6 revolver. This gun may not seem like much, but it gives you a chance at getting a preemptive counterattack anytime anyone uses a range attack against you. Use it alongside allies who join in on attacks that happen out of turn, and you'll make good use of it. The head of AIM, MODOK, is who you'll have to deal with in the next mission, Heated Negotiations. Defeating him is what might earn you the Gamma Radiation Emitter. This item not only applies radiation exposure to all your enemies, but also makes all future energy attacks capable of doing the same thing, stacking up the damage nicely. There is a better version of this weapon that you can get from the daily missions, but this one is a bit more reliable in its availability. Tourist Trap, Mission 3, is where we get to see what happens when a bunch of Asgardian-empowered villains decide to take over Fisherman's Wharf. No, seriously. The Wrecking Crew are giving everyone trouble, so it's up to you to stop them. Among their stolen goods, you might find the enchanted Odin Steel. An electrified weapon, it places static charge on the enemy you hit. It would also place Deathbound on them, which will heal you once the enemy is defeated. Should you have Thor, Hercules, and Emma Frost recruited, you can also unlock the fight with the Destroyer. Taking down Asgard's weapon will not only save a lot of people, but perhaps reward you with the Tempered Asgardian Gauntlet. When used, this weapon grants the Berserk effect, giving you extra turns when you attack, but also causing anyone who uses it to take double the damage they would normally. It's Mission 4, Circular Speculations, that I want to highlight as a near mandatory mission that all agents should go on. The reason for this is that after you defeat Blizzard, there's a good chance that you'll be able to obtain the Staff of Asclepios, one of the better healing weapons around that is accessible through missions. Not only does it grant Blessing Renewal, which is a nice heal over time effect that will give you 8% of your health back every round it's active, but the Blessing effect enhances all healing. This means that if anyone on the team has a healing passive or healing skills of their own, it will get enhanced by this item. Lockdown is where we'll find Savin causing issues at the Baxter building. Taking down the overheated maniac will probably let you get the hardened chained wrapped fists. Being one of the few weapons around that grant the wind-up effect to an agent, you can easily combine that with the Paragon Exploiter passive the weapon has to end up with some fairly high damage. Finally, the premium mission on the Prowl will require you to recruit Black Panther to even get access to it. It's there that you'll have to deal with Manape in his usual attempt to take over Wakanda, with a few Hydra members thrown in for good measure. Once the oversized gorilla goes down, the amplified subsonic sound gun can be found. Hitting all enemies and disorienting them, this weapon also gives the team a buff known as the seismic feedback. Not only does this make you more resilient to sonic-based attacks, but it gives your foes a small shockback of damage every single time they attack you. This shockback can cause dizzy on the enemy, which the weapon also exploits. There's also an epic boss here that you'll have to deal with should you have Hank Pym, Wasp, and Ms. Marvel at your side. Surprisingly, the symbiote known as Venom is the boss you'll find yourselves fighting against. Once he's done with, you might find the high-capacity incinerator unit lying around. This weapon is a decent one, granting you an extra attack occasionally, and when it does, it gives out a stack of adrenaline, which increases attack and accuracy. It would also burn your enemies for a while too. Arm yourself right, agents, pair them up with heroes who work well with them, and you'll find yourself capable of taking down the strongest foes with these chapter weapons.